dude, I drove for 4 hours and I've been staring at asphalt for that whole time. So I need you guys to yell with me just to pick up my energy and raise the vibrations. Yell as loud as you want to. Don't hold back, all right? I can scream pretty loud, so you guys are going to have to bring it, all right? On 3. 1, 2. Gotta go for it. Don't hesitate. So I want to thank Brittany Easton for having me come out here and talk to you guys. This has been a dream of mine for the last few months, for quite a while actually. Just the choices that I've been making has kind of postponed this opportunity. So thank you again, Brittany. I really appreciate it. She gave me open range as far as what I could talk about. And for a few days, I couldn't decide. Like, it was driving me crazy because there's all this stuff that I've been learning lately, you know, just about life and getting along with people and just the choices I've been making and setting goals. So I decided to talk about something that I've been struggling with since I was 8 years old, and that's alcohol and drugs and addiction and just making poor choices. I am currently in rehab. I've been there since March 29th. This is my 3rd rehab in 4 years. My problem is that I can't handle my emotions, and I take things too personally at times. Like when I start taking life too serious and I don't relax and just have fun, that's when I get overwhelmed and things go downhill quick. This started in high school. I was into sports, I was into FFA, but the crowd that I was following, the influence that I was surrounding myself with, they were like the jocks, the kids that wanted to go out and party after the big game and stuff like that. So those were the role models that I was surrounding myself with. I was molding myself after them. Like I would watch what decisions they would make, and then once I graduated and I became the upperclassman, that's what I was doing. And that's the influence that I was showing the kids, the undergraduates, not undergraduates, but the underclassmen. I ruined. I caused a lot of hardship and pain for a lot of people because I would get to a point where I would want other people to do it with me. I didn't want to be the only one, so I would convince other people to do it with me. In high school, it was a confusing time. You're trying to find out your identity, you're trying to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's a huge decision to make. Like I'm 27 and I'm just now getting to that point where I know what I want to do. So I know the pressure, I know the sense of urgency that you have to make. But just know that if you don't know what you want to do, ask yourself different questions. Don't feel like it's a rush. If you need to take some time off, take some time off. Ask yourself the right questions. Visualize what you see yourself doing. Like mentally project yourself to that position or that profession and see how you feel. And visualize like all the details, like how it would feel to be a doctor and save somebody's life and have the family congratulate you and thank you and hug you and all that. Or if you want to play sports, imagine hitting a game-winning shot and hearing the crowd go crazy. And all your teammates coming up to you, high-fiving you and all that. Visualize down to the detail. Make it as real as possible. If it doesn't feel good, visualize something else. Listen to your heart. A lot of problems that I've had is that I try to figure too much stuff out in my head. I rationalize and try to justify certain things. But if you listen to your heart, then you can't go wrong. The heart knows way more than your mind does. So try to listen to it. So in high school, throughout my life, I've had these visions of what I wanted to do. And a handful of times I've accomplished those visions became reality. My sophomore year, won state in 2 sports, almost had a 3rd. Me and my brother were partners on 150 head of cows. We had 500 goats. Like I said, I was in FFA. First place SAE program. Everything was getting set up to what I wanted to do. In high school, I wanted to play professional sports. I didn't know which one, but I knew I wanted to play pro ball. After I won state, my sophomore summer, it was like my head blew up and my ego got out of control. And I thought that I was invincible. That was when I started doing a bunch of pain pills, cocaine, heroin, drinking. Like, I don't know. I thought I could live like a rock star and get away with it because that's what I was influenced by, and that's kind of the path that I chose. But the more that you drink, the more that you start using, whatever vision you have, whatever you want to become, that vision starts to fade. And then all the alcohol and the drugs and the party and whatever life it is that you're trying to live. I mean, I don't know, it distracts you. And before too long, you get addicted or you get in trouble. One of your friends will wreck a vehicle and die because they were drunk. I've had a dozen friends overdose in the past 2 or 3 years in this area. I'm sure you guys have heard about the overdoses going on. It is just, my best advice is to beat it before it starts. Don't dabble in it too long. If you play with fire, you're going to get burned. And it's as simple as that. The first time I took a drink of alcohol, I was like, oh, I know I'm going to become a heroin addict in 10 years, or a meth addict, or a coke addict. It does things. Alcohol will persuade you, and you will think things that you've never thought before. And if you get to the point where you start doing hard drugs, you will do things that you never imagined. It's just the nature of the beast. It has an insatiable hunger. You can't quench it. You keep going and going and doing things that you never would have dreamed of. You hurt people. I've hurt my family. I've hurt friends. I've had some people die recently. I was the one that started the addiction for them. Like, their death is kind of on my hands, and that's a hard pill to swallow. I've had a lot of childhood friends die lately. I don't know. It's hard not to take it personally because you feel like you can step in and help that person. But unless that person truly wants change, then there's no hope really. So listen to your heart, and whatever you decide you want to do, then don't hold back. Go for it. Take the jump. Make the leap into the unknown. You never know what you can accomplish unless you try. It is better to aim high and miss than aim low and hit. If you aim low and hit, you're just going to be average. You're just going to coast through. You're not going to gain any real experience or knowledge or wisdom. If you aim high and miss, you get that experience. You get that knowledge. You get that wisdom. So then you can adjust your sails and try again the next time. You can try again and just keep trying. Another thing that held me back was the concept of failure, or not achieving some goal. Failures, repeated failures, are the fingerprints on the road to success. If you're not failing, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying. Fail as many times as possible. If it takes you 100 attempts to become what you envisioned, then fail as fast as possible those 99 times. So you can learn and adjust. And then on that 100th time, when you hit it, and it's going to feel amazing. You're just going to, it's an overwhelming sensation. Just the realization of it. Like I said, I'm still in rehab. I finished in May. This past year, the last 12 months, last year started off, I tried attempting suicide by lethal injection. I tried to shoot up a bunch of heroin because I get to a point so low in my addiction that the only way that I see out is through taking my own life. I wouldn't ask for help. I wouldn't seek out my friends or my peers. He's not a friend, he's more of a using buddy. You get to the point where you're using a lot of people just taking for advantage. Just looking for what you got. If there's using friend, I had him die in my hands. I mixed up the shot for him, handed it to him, and he literally died in my hands. But he came back to life halfway to the hospital here in town. I went on a high-speed chase and turned myself in after a couple of days. This was all back in January, February last year. And turned myself in, and I knew, like 2 weeks into my stay there in county jail, just right across the street, that was my room over there for a few weeks. After going through the withdrawals of heroin and meth and alcohol and just being miserable, I had another vision. And you know you're on the right path when you have this picture in your mind of what you want to do or what you want to become. And it stirs something up inside you. And it motivates you. And you tell yourself that no matter what, you're going to keep going until you get there. So for the last 10 months, I went from weighing 160 pounds, and I didn't even know if I was going to make it to treatment again. If I aggravate my case, I go to prison for 6. So I got to make sure I'm back tonight by 10 before my curfew was gone. But the vision was, I saw myself talking to a group of people. I didn't know how old they were. If they're in high school and in a treatment center. I could see like the silhouettes of people. And now that I'm standing here, I can kind of put the last piece to the puzzle together. I see all you guys' faces. So this is a dream come true for me, in a sense. Like that's one thing that has helped me push myself so hard. The last 10 months, I've gained 60 pounds. I've talked, this is probably my 12th or 13th talk to a high school. I'm doing things that I never thought I could do. I didn't see myself actually being here in just 10 months. I was planning on talking to schools maybe next year, but opportunities present themselves and you take them. Sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes you just got to take that jump, make the leap. You never know what could happen until you try. Let's see. And I don't mean to keep talking about the doom and gloom, but anytime I've been hurt, like physical illnesses, stuff like that, it's always been the result of drinking alcohol, going to parties, and acting a fool. I used to think that alcohol or drugs helped me open up so I could talk to people, so I could socialize. It did to a point, but I was under the spirit, the influence, right, of alcohol, drugs. I was just acting a fool. And not anybody, just the illusion of having fun while you're wasted. I don't get the point of it anymore. And especially the stuff that I've been through, looking back on it now, I see it all as a big waste of time, wasted opportunities. Use your time wisely. Time is the most precious commodity that we have. You can own cars, you can own houses, this and that, but how you invest your time is the most important thing that you can ever do with your life. Are you investing time in video games, in drinking, partying? Are you investing your time in books, in learning, in growing? Where you put your attention, where attention goes, energy flows. So whatever you give attention to, it's going to get stronger. Just like with working out. You lift weights for a while, you get physically stronger, and it shows. Same thing mentally. You challenge your mind, you will get stronger. You will start to develop your mental faculties like intuition, just increase your memory, and reading people, and just being more social. Be more open. Don't be afraid of failure. Just believe with all your heart, mind, and soul. Believe that it's possible and believe in yourself. And aim high and build wealth. And that's all I got.